and Sri Gauranga Hari Hari Bol. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते दासाधिकारी नामिने नमः प्रहस्ये प्रभुपादांसारणे
Namaste
सरस्वती देवी गौरवान् प्रचार्य नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवान् प्रचार्य निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे
Krishna Krishna
हरे
Hare
कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे
Hare. Thank you, Vrindavan.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 14, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, let's do a prayer first. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay, I will read the verse. Mother Savarari, shall we read verse 14, follow the verse 14, and other verses I just read, right?
Yes.
Tancho sochyan avido nu soche hare kathayam vimukhan aghena Shinoti devo nimisastu esham ayu vrithavata gati smitina Tancho sochyan avido nu soche hare kathayam vimukhan aghena Shinoti devo nimisastesam ayurvrithabadagati smitina Tangcho sochyan avido nu soche hare kathayam vimukhan aghena Shinoti devo nimisastesam ayurvrithabadagati smitina Hare Krishna. Anyone like to read the verse?
Tanso, I'm sorry. Tanso Chesochan Abhido no soche Hare Kadhayam Vimukhan Ajena Krishnoti Devo Nimishastu Yasham Ayurvatavad Gati Smritinam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tan sochya sochyan abido anushoche hare kathayam vimukham agena shinoti devo nimishastu yesham ayur bratagada gati smritinam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sochyan abido anusoche Hare Kataya Vimukhan Hagena Shinoti Devo Animishastu Esham Ayurvritavad Gati Smritinam. Hare Krishna.
Tancho sochayan avido nu soche hare kathayam vimukhanagena shinoti devo nimishastu yesham ayurvrithavadagati smritinam.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll go word for word then. These synonyms. Tan, although, sochya, pitiable. Sochyan, of the pitiable. Avidaha, ignorant. Anusoche, I pity. Harehe, of the Lord. Kathayam, of to the topics of. Bimukhan, averse. Aghena, because of sinful activities. Shinoti, decaying. Devaha, the Lord. Animeshaha, eternal time. To, but. Yesam, of whom. Ayuhu, duration of life. Britha, uselessly. Bada, philosophical speculations. Gati, ultimate goal. Smritina, of those following different rituals. Translation and purport by Stephen Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. O says, persons who, because of their sinful activities, are averse to the topics of transcendence and thus ignorant of the purpose of the Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, are pitied by the pitiable. I also pity them because I see how their duration of life is spoiled by eternal time, while they involve themselves in presentations of philosophical speculation, theoretical ultimate goals of life, and different modes of ritual. Purport. According to the modes of material nature, there are three kinds of relationships between human beings and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those who are in the modes of ignorance and passion are averse to the existence of God, or else they formally accept the existence of God in the capacity of an order supplier. Above them are those who are in the mode of goodness. This second class of men believe the Supreme Brahman to be impersonal. They accept the cult of bhakti, in which hearing of Krishna Katha is the first item, as a means and not the end. Above them are those who are pure devotees. They are situated in the transcendental stage, above the mode of material goodness. Such persons are decidedly convinced that the name, form, fame, qualities, etc. of the personality of Godhead are non-different from one another on the absolute plane. For them, hearing of the topics of Krishna is equal to meeting with him face to face. According to this class of men, who are situated in pure devotional service to the Lord, the highest goal of the human life is Purusartha, devotional service to the Lord, the real mission of life. The impersonalists, because they engage in mental speculation and have no faith in the personality of Godhead, have no business hearing the topics of Krishna. Such persons are pitiable for the first class pure devotees of the Lord. The pitiable impersonalists pity those who are influenced by the modes of ignorance and passion. But the pure devotees of the Lord take pity on them both, because both waste their most valuable time in the human form of life in false pursuits, namely sense enjoyment and mental speculative presentations of different theories and goals of life. We'll read only the translation for verse 15 as it was done yesterday, and I will go to the remaining verse. Verse 15 translation. O Maitreya, O friend of the distressed, the glories of the Supreme Lord can alone do good for people all over the world. Therefore, just as bees collect honey from flowers, kindly describe the essence of all topics, the topics of the Lord. That's 16. Sabhisvajanma sthiti samyamarthe kritavatara pragrihita sakti sakara karmanyati purushani yani swarakirtayatani mahyam. Translation. Sorry, word for word. Sa, the personality of Godhead. Viswa, universe. Janma, creation. Sthiti, maintenance. Samyama, arthe, with a view to perfect control. Krita, accepted. Avataraha, incarnation. Pragrihita accomplished with Saktihi potency. Chakara performed Karmani transcendental activities. Ati Purushani superhuman. Yani all those. Isvaraha the Lord. Kirtaye please chant. Tani all those. Mahyam unto me. Translation and Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Kindly chant all those superhuman transcendental activities of the Supreme Controller, the Personality of Godhead, who accepted incarnations fully equipped with all potency for the full manifestation and maintenance of the cosmic creation. Purport. Vidura was undoubtedly very eager to hear about Lord Krishna in particular, but he was overwhelmed because Lord Krishna had just passed away from the visible world. He therefore wanted to hear about him in his Purusa incarnations, which he manifests with full potencies for the creation and maintenance of the cosmic world. The activities of the Purusa incarnations are but an extension of the activities of the Lord. This hint was given by Vidura to Maitreya because Maitreya could not decide which part of the activities of Lord Krishna should he chanted. Verse 17. Sri Sukha Uvacha Sa evam Bhagavan Krishna Chhatra Kausara Gomnihi Pumsam Nisreya Sarthena Tam Aha Bahumanayan. Synonyms. Sri Sukha Uvacha, Sri Sukadev Goswami said, Saha he, evam thus, Bhagavan the great says, Pristaha being requested, Chhatra by Vidura, Kausaravaha Maitreya. Munihi the great says, Pumsam for all people, Nisreyasa for the greatest welfare, Arthena for that, Tam unto him, Aha narrated, Bahu greatly, Manayan honoring. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Sukadev Goswami said, the great says Maitreya Muni, after honoring Vidura very greatly, began to speak. At Vidura's request, for the greatest welfare of all people. Purport. The great says Maitreya Muni is described here as Bhagavan because he surpassed all ordinary human beings in learning and experience. Thus, his selection of the greatest welfare service for the world is considered authoritative. The all-inclusive welfare service for the entire human society is devotional service to the Lord. And as requested by Vidura, the sage described the same very appropriately. Last verse, text 18. Maitreya Uvacha Sadhu Pristam Toya Sadhu Lokan Sadhu Nigrinata Kirtim Vitanvata Loke Atmanu Dhokshajatmanaha. Synonyms. Maitreya Uvacha, Sri Maitreya said, Sadhu, all good, Pristam, I am asked, Toya, by you, Sadhu, O good one, Lokan, all the people, Sadhu Anugrinata, showing mercy and goodness, Kirtim, glories, Vitanvata, broadcasting, Loke, in the world, Atmanaha, of the self, Adokshaja, the transcendence, Atmanaha, mind. Translation and purport by Stephen Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Teacher. Translation. Sri Maitreya said, O Vidura, all glory unto you. You have inquired from me of the greatest of all goodness, and thus you have shown your mercy both to the world and to me, because your mind is always absorbed in thoughts of the transcendence. Purport. Maitreya Muni, who was experienced in the science of transcendence, could understand that Vidura's mind was fully absorbed in transcendence. Adoksaja means that which transcends the limits of sense perception or sensuous experience. The Lord is transcendental to our sense experience, but he reveals himself to the sincere devotee. Because Vidura was always absorbed in thought of the Lord, Maitreya could estimate Vidura's transcendental value. He appreciated the valuable inquiries of Vidura and thus thanked him with great honor. Hare Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं गिरिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण। Before I speak on this verse, first of all, I thank all of you to attend and to give me this opportunity for my own purification. Before speaking, I would like to seek blessings and permission from all the assembled devotees here. Haribo. Thank you, Arvind.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, let's go to verse 14 first. So, review Father Archana Bhakti reviewed very nicely in the other class, like how Vidura first approached, Vidura first approached Uddhava, and Uddhava guided him to go to Maitreya Muni for his questions, right? And then here in this chapter, Vidura goes to Haridwar where he meets Maitreya Muni. And then so far Vidura is speaking, like he's saying, he's asking the questions, like the topics he wanted to hear, all those. And then this verse, in verse 14, continuing with the same theme, he is saying like how there are three people in three modes of material nature, and those three kind, as Prabhupada already explained the purport, like one category is in the modes of ignorance and passion, who are averse to God, right? Or they formally accept the existence of God in the capacity of an order supplier. And then the mode of goodness, right? And they believe Supreme Brahman to be impersonal. So this is Mayabadi basically saying. And then the third one is the people in the transcendental stage above the mode of material goodness, which is called Suddha Sattva. And here Srila Prabhupada is saying, such persons are decidedly convinced that the name, form, fame, qualities, etc. of the personality of Godhead are not different from one another, the absolute plane. Right? Basically here, Vidura is requesting Maitreya Muni to speak on the topics of law, topics of the transcendence. And here I was looking at this was like pitied by the pitiable. And here in the purport, Srila Prabhupada explains very nicely who are the pitiable. Pitiable is pitying the other people, is pitying other people. I mean, pitiable and means those who are Mayavadis, or those in the mode of goodness, but they believe the Supreme Lord or Supreme Brahman to be impersonal, the impersonalist, are pitiable here in this situation. And then who are the pitied? those who are in the mode of ignorance and passion. And then here Vidura is saying, I also pity them because I see how their duration of life is spoiled by eternal time while they involve themselves in presentations of philosophical speculation, theoretical ultimate goals of life, and different modes of ritual. So today's like all these verses from 14 to 18 actually carries the same theme of where Bidura or the devotees of the Lord, how they are the well-wisher of the whole world, right? And let's go to 15. Here also, he's saying, "Oh Maitreya, oh friend of the district, the glories of the Supreme Lord can alone do good for people all over the world. Therefore, just as bees collect honey from flowers, kindly describe the essence of all topics, the topics of the Lord." And Maharaj yesterday in his class said how about the sar, right? Sar, the essence of all the essence of the flower, how essence of the flower is nectar. Similarly, the essence of the um, the scriptures, the literature, scriptural literature is the glories of the Supreme Lord. Right? Then on 16, Vidura is still saying, now he is guiding Maitreya Muni to kindly chant all those superhuman transcendental activities of the Supreme Controller, the personality of Godhead, who accepted incarnations fully equipped with all potency for the full manifestation and maintenance of the cosmic creation. So here, and then Srila Prabhupada in the purport, Vidura was undoubtedly very eager to hear about Lord Krishna in particular, but he was overwhelmed because Lord Krishna had just passed away from the visible world. He therefore wanted to hear about him in Purusa incarnations, which he manifested with full potency for the creation and maintenance of the cosmic world. The activities of the Purusa incarnations are but an extension of the activities of the Lord. This hint was given by Vidura to Maitreya because Maitreya could not decide which part of the activities of Lord Krishna should he chant or chanted. Actually, when we see in the other verse, Maitreya Muni is described as Bhagavan, right? But here we see in this verse, Vidura is kind of guiding Maitreya Muni to speak on the Purusa incarnation here, right? And then one may think like why, or one may ask why Vidura is guiding Maitreya Muni, because he is the listener, he is the receiver, and Maitreya Muni is the speaker. He's going to speak now, but he is hinting him to speak on this topic specifically. And then to this, the answer, I mean, the answer I heard from one of the, I think the Jompad Maharaj's class, he was saying like Vidura, like we should not forget that Vidura also is one of the pure devotee of the Lord. We can remember the pastime when Lord Krishna was sent as a peace ambassador before the Kurukshetra war, right? And then Duryodhan's team had prepared all those delicacies, varieties, not chappan bhog, like more than that, so much nice preparations. But Lord Krishna didn't take even a sip of water from them. And then he went to Vidura's house and accepted the banana peel from Vidurani, right? Like that much dear. He was that much dear to Lord. So, um, and then, so being Vidura that much dear to the Lord, he knew that if he would ask Maitreya Muni just to tell or just to speak on the activities or the pastimes of the Lord, he might immediately go to the childhood pastime or even Rasa Leela, which are very famous and very dear to everyone. So he thought that he wanted to hear from the beginning, because in this verse it is said like he was overwhelmed because Lord Krishna had just passed away from the visible world. So he wanted to start from the beginning, not only for himself, but for the whole world, for the welfare of the whole world. Because in the previous verse, in 14, we saw like the three types of people, three types of people. One in ignorance and passion, one in goodness, who both are pitied and pitiable, right? Because the second group, the mode of goodness one, who are actually the personification of the impersonalization, they have some inclination, but not like they take Krishna Katha, they hear Krishna Katha, but as a means, not as the goal. But for the pure devotees, the means and the goal, the sadhan and the sadhya, both is the devotional service. Right? That is why Vidura, being that Anusoche, he said IPT, Anusoche in the 14th verse, being that universal well-wisher or Sured, one of the quality of the Lord, he wanted to start from the fundament, from the foundation of the whole creation and maintenance. Okay, and this is where, this verse says, Vidura is hinting Maitreya Muni to speak on the Purusha incarnations. Right? Let's see in 17. Now, Sukadev Goswami in this verse is saying, the great says Maitreya Muni, after honoring Vidura very greatly began to speak at Vidura's request for the greatest welfare of all people. Right? And then Prabhupada says about how Maitreya Muni is described as Bhagavan in this verse. Okay. This is why Prabhupada mentioned here this word Bhagavan specifically Maitreya Muni in this purport is like again back to those second class of people who consider the impersonal manifestation, right? And one of the philosophy is like you are God, I am God, for those kind of people, the impersonal. That is why he's trying to again mention that point here, saying Maitreya Muni is described here as Bhagavan, right? But the other definition here is Maitreya Muni is going to be speaking as a representative of the Lord. That is why he is described here as Bhagavan. And then another point, Sukadev Goswami, like mentioning of Sukadev Goswami in the middle of this chapter is also significant because how we try to go through sometimes we forget like who's speaking. And we are reminded again, like Sukadev Goswami is still speaking to the sages of Naimisaranya. So back to the, like we're flying over and it's just bringing us down to the realm, like, okay, we're still hearing from Sukadev Goswami. And then in the last verse, now Maitreya Muni starts speaking. He starts with glorifying Vidura. O Vidura, all glory unto you. You have inquired from me the greatest of goodness, and thus you have shown mercy, both to the world and to me, because your mind is always absorbed in thoughts of the transcendence. We can see the humility of Maitreya Muni also. He's saying, you have done mercy to me also, right? And in the upcoming verses, we'll see how Maitreya Muni will glorify Vidura from his birth and all his, we'll see in from tomorrow's verse onward. But reading all these verses, 14 to 18, I was thinking about some pastimes of the Lord where, how the glorification of the Lord's activities and all these pastimes of the Lord is the ultimate, is highest, then the philosophical speculation. Remembering about the pastimes of let me stop this one. Pastime of Prahlad Maharaj, right? Hiranyakashipu supplied him all kind of material education. I don't need to repeat the pastime, but all those education and all those facilities. But Prahlad Maharaj, being the pure devotee of the Lord, he was one pointedly focused on the devotional service of the Lord, remembering the Lord. And because of that, because of his one pointed devotion, what happened? Not only him, the whole world got benefited. It was the universe, whole world, the welfare for the whole world. Lord appeared as Narasimhadev, not only for Prahlad Maharaj's benefit, even Hiranyakasipu was benefited. Right? And then similarly, we can also see the story of Dhruva Maharaj, right? Who actually initially he was looking for material blessings because he was very disheartened by the behavior of his stepmother. And he left the palace trying to find a greater kingdom than his father. But long story short, he meets Narada Muni, who is the spiritual master for him. And he, from his advice, he starts worshipping Lord Vishnu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And what happens? He gets the highest goal of life. Not only the material kingdom, he gets the a whole planet named to himself, like Dhruvatara, right? And then another one we can remember in this regard is King Parikshit himself, who was cursed to die in 7 days. Right? Instead of pursuing other speculative philosophy or other rituals, which generally we tend to do, he chose to hear about Krishna from Sukadeva Goswami. That's how we got this opportunity to listen, to purify ourselves. So I was trying to connect all these pastimes to these verses today. The conclusion I got was all these, the pastimes of the Lord, the activities of the Lord, the glories, the name, fame, all the glories of the Lord, they are actually is the essence of all wisdom. That's why Vidura is requesting Maitreya to focus on the topics of Krishna, not anything else. And these are the glories of the Lord are the highest and most beneficial topics for all living beings. Right? Like these stories, Dhruva Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, even Arjun, who was very overwhelmed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Right? They bring the ultimate welfare, both in terms of spiritual progress and also the liberation from material entanglement. If anyone remembers any other pastime, please, you can just unmute yourself and go ahead. But this theme from today's verse 14 to 18 is only like seeking the spiritual knowledge, the highest spiritual knowledge, like Vidura is guiding Maitreya to speak on, is only possible when one's heart is filled with pure devotion. And then these should be actually should be constantly absorbed in devotion to inquire about the divine. And then Maitreya Muni in the last verse is recognizing Vidura's transcendental value, actually highlights the importance of devotion and also the sincerity of inquiry. You know, like not only like sometimes we see speaking on a topic is not that easy unless you get guided. That's why when we see like when Prabhupada gives his classes, it's like half an hour or something like that. But you see the room conversation or the morning walk or the question answer sessions, they go longer because you're guided with the question, right? So there, that is why Srila Prabhupada used to always encourage devotees to ask questions. Okay, okay, I will read the verse, the translation of the last one again, and then I'll end here. Okay, Sri Maitreya said, O Vidura, all glory unto you. You have inquired from me of the greatest of all goodness, and thus you have shown your mercy both to the world and to me, because your mind is always absorbed in thoughts of the transcendence. Here, Maitreya Muni is only addressing Vidura, but that means he's saying like overall the devotees should be how the devotees should be merciful to the whole world, right? And that starts with same that goes to what Prabhupada used to say, the those principal points, like books are the basis, utility is the principle, preaching is the essence, and I forgot the other one.
Purity is the force.
Is the words. Thank you. So, and preaching doesn't mean like speaking or, like, of course, like book distribution, Harina, all those come to the preaching platform. But not only that, if someone just lives the life following Srila Prabhupada's process, the process Srila Prabhupada gave us, who actually is a preaching with the achar, prachar. And all those things that today's verse saying about the universal welfare, we can find in Srila Prabhupada himself. Right? Srila Prabhupada being fighting the pitiable and the pitied, he started his journey, and with all his effort and with all, like going back to Lilamrit again, all those years of dedication, devotion, sleepless nights, that is the mercy to the whole world. The Prabhupada ki. Okay, I will stop here. Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Please, if you have any more further realization or more additional points, any correction, please go ahead. I see Parikshit Prabhu is there, Kavila Prabhu is there, Dronacharya Prabhu is there, Rivo, everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Very nice class. Thank you. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. One of the things that I felt I got out of these 4 verses was how much pure devotees are thinking about everybody else. It's, that I have always been amazed, when Prabhupada first came to Boston as he was going down the turnpike, he looked at, or I don't know if it was in Boston, he looked out and he looked at the people on the street, just random people, and he said, "Oh, these people are so," he felt so bad for them. Sometimes I think, I go around, I see people on street. That's not the feeling that comes to my mind. Or if I am learning something, it's probably only for my own benefit. It's even though, yes, when you go on Harinam or you distribute books, it is for the welfare of everybody else. But still, I am thinking I am doing a service. Hopefully Krishna is happy with me for doing this service, but it's not because I wanted to help some poor souls. I mean, such a strong word to say. He felt pity for
Deva.
it's just the pure devotees, and their compassion is unbelievable. That's just one um, thing that came to my mind as I was listening to your class. Hare Krishna.
Deva. Thank you, Mother Savaradi. Parikshit Prabhu, this class will not be complete without you talking.
Hare Krishna. Can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhu. Can you-
Okay. Yeah, I have a different system on this one. Yeah, it was a very nice class too. Talking about the person that's hearing, and categorizing the pitiable, with those in the different modes. All very, very, very nicely, explained by you. And Mother Savaradi made comments, I also started thinking about the compassion that good devotees have for everyone. Prahlad Maharaj said, I'm concerned about people who are not in this field of thinking that, they're living life to the fullest, but they don't even know the kind of illusion that they're in. And then he also, even before that, the thought that came to mind was, but the sages of Naimisharanya who heard Bhagavatam, their main aim there was perform sacrifice for the welfare of everybody in the world. So much compassion that people have. So that was some of the things that I was thinking about as you were teaching. But thank you, very nice.
Thank you, Prabhu. Okay. If there is no other or anything, can Savaradi?
Thank you very much, Mataji. Nice class.
Thank you very much. Mother.
Lot of information, yes. And then Maitre Muni the Vidura was asking, but it's not for his own benefit only, for everybody's benefit. That not many people think of that. I want to be good, I want to benefit, I want to do this. That kind of feeling in this Kali Yuga. But that is very, very rare, I think, in Kali Yuga. I feel that. I wish we all will have that way.
Yeah.
That's all my wish. That's it. Thank you. And listening to this, at least little bit we'll have. And we have to be like that. For everybody's welfare, we should think something. That's all my wish. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. And also, I just want to add one more. The fact that Vidura went on pilgrimage from a situation that was actually quite bad that he faced, he took advantage of it.
Yeah.
He took advantage of it and got something really good out of it. Just to plan to go on pilgrimage. And then the Lord arranged for those that he met. He met Buddhavad, he met Maitreya. This is turning a bad situation and has turned up to a wonderful situation where we all get to hear more from Maitreya, the questions that he had. Another lesson to us. that we can turn something bad into good, and always think in terms of how to serve devotees and serve Krishna, even if the situation initially sounds like a distressful situation. Hare Krishna.
So,
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much.
that's Mataji, very good.
Very well. And you nicely bring out, Mataji, how like book distribution and Harinam Sankirtan and everything is so important, and still so important, like how we act in our life. Like, yeah, so that was really nice, Mataji. So that's why we have to listen every day. It's very important. We always forget things. So every day something we have to take out from the class. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
I support that. Listening every day. See, you get purified. You get purified without even realizing.
Yes.
When you're listening every day.
But unfortunately, when they have small kids, it's not really possible. Though we want to, people like me, I can come and sit here first.
Yeah.
But if they have small kids, that's really, if they want to listen also, sometimes those things are not possible with the household things.
Well,
now I'm
that's
getting little bit okay, Mataji. When in the satsang, I can sit and listen for some time at least. Right now, Lakshmati is getting little better.
That's
So
good.
I'm so thankful to Krishna.
That's
Yeah,
good.
yesterday I was telling my Prabhu, yeah, see, right now we can little bit
Yeah,
at
it will
least
change.
sit.
They will change while they're growing, they will change.
Yeah.
just a suggestion. You can listen to a YouTube recording of it when the children take a nap.
Yeah,
They take a nap or something, and you have free
that's
time.
Yeah, I like the live class, I always think
Live
I will
is
listen,
wonderful,
then
no
they're
question.
like, yeah, never gonna be happen. Like, live is really interesting.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like the live one too.
Yeah.
That we can just express our feelings.
Yeah. The next best thing is to hear recording, because it's free. That
Yes,
not to hear at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sobarade does the same thing. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare
But I
Krishna.
want to
Bless
listen
you,
to your
Prabhu.
class only.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shyamagori Mataji's class is very nice. That's why I said.
She is very good. Everybody does classes very good.
Yeah, because it's transcendental topics.
Yeah,
It always turns out.
that is one thing, and it's nectar.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, everybody. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
That's so bad. See you unmuted.
Yeah, I'm just, I don't see any other hands up. If there's nobody else with any other comments or realizations, we can end the class here.
Thank you.
Today we do have a special speaker at the Sunday feast. So please try to come to the temple or at least tune into Zoom. So we can end the class here.
Thank you, Shama. Vanchakalpatarvishkrupasindhabhyevacha Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Hare Krishna. Thank you.